At the moment I'm standing outside with my dog Ben. I've just taken him for a walk. Let me show you Ben. There he is. Come here Ben. There's Ben. Very faithful dog. I'd like to share a few thoughts with you all about our enemy, the devil and Satan. Same person. Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28 give insight into his fall and the reason for it. Basically, the root cause was jealousy. He was jealous of the Creator, wanted to be like him. In fact, he wanted to overthrow him and replace him with himself. Now we can obviously see that the devil had a problem with the Creator. Revelation 12 describes the fact that there was war in heaven, and the devil didn't prevail and was cast out, which would have added to his hatred of the Creator. Now, I'd like you to use your imagination now with me. Put yourself in the place of the devil. If you were him, would you have a problem with the Father expressing his will to his people? If you were the devil and you knew that the Father required his people to, by faith, carry out his will, would you try to confuse people regarding the Father's will? Now, the Father, from Genesis through to Revelation, is always in the business of making us aware of his will. When Christ was asked, regarding the commandments, which is the greatest, Christ summarized the first four by saying that they're about love to the Creator. He summarized the remaining commandments by saying that we ought to have love for our fellow man. So there we have a description of the will of the Father. If you were the devil, would you have a problem with the commandments? I believe the answer is yes. Now, would you attempt to hide the importance of them from people? And I think again the answer is yes. Now, if you were the devil, which commandment would you hate most of all? They're all as important as each other. Some will dispute, saying Sister White, Ellen White says that there's much importance attached to the Sabbath commandment. Now, the reason she says that is because that's the commandment that has been trampled more than any other. That is the commandment that requires, you could say to a certain degree, more action than the others, in this time especially, seeing as most have rejected it, and to keep it kind of singles you out as being strange. Any questions asked. Now, for me, if I was the devil, I would hate that commandment, the fourth commandment, more than any other, because that commandment has the most to say about the Creator. It contains his name, his title, and also his jurisdiction. So if I was the devil, first and foremost, I'd have a problem with the commandments, and I would try to get rid of them. That the people of the Creator's people, might not have a clear idea of how to serve him. Ultimately, the Father is going to get rid of sin and sinners. And we're told quite clearly that sin is a transgression of the law. So if the very thing that points out sin is gotten rid of, it's highly likely that people are going to sin, not knowing what sin actually is. Remember, Paul said that he would not have known sin if it wasn't for the law. If I was the devil, the commandment that I'd hate the most would be the fourth commandment, because it has the most to say about the Creator. And remember, the devil hates him. Just bear in mind what I've said and pray about it. Pray and ask the Holy Spirit to impress upon your heart whether or not you ought to keep the commandments, not in order to be saved, but as an expression of love. John, when describing the Creator, in his first epistle, he described him as being love. He, in his Gospel, John 3 and verse 16, said that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So because the Father is love, because the Most High is love, he sent his only begotten Son. Now, how do we respond to his love? Christ sums it up by saying, John 14 and verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. So Christ has clearly said to us that how we express love to him is to keep his commandments. If you were the devil, would you want to kind of interrupt that loving relationship? If you were the devil, which of the commandments would you hate the most? And I firmly believe that it would be the one that has the most to say about the Creator. I'm hoping that which I've said has made sense, is clear, and has reached at least one, hopefully many, as I've said many times. Please pray for me as I pray for you.